Question of the day. Can you build a PC for less than $500 that will beat or meet the PS5? Let's find out. Alright guys, we're going to be building this list on PC Part Picker. This is what I always use. I do know Micro Center has a really cool build your own PC function on their website. When I used it earlier, it was a little bit clunky. Their old one was better. I don't know why they changed it, but I like the old one a lot better. But let's take a look at what the PS5 specs look like. You can always trust the Verge with good information. This is what we care about. So we'll go with the disc version of the PS5 just because it is $500. It gives us a little bit more playroom with the PC we're going to be building. Try to get us closer to that performance level. So we have a 8 Zen 2 core, 3.5 gigahertz with SMT. The GPU is the AMD RDNA 236 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz variable frequency. 10.28 teraflops, 16 gigs of GDDR6 RAM, up to 8K, up to 120 frames per second, depending on the game, of course. Storage, we have an 825 gig PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD, an expandable NVMe SSD slot. So obviously with a computer, we'll have basically as much storage as we need to. Backward compatibility doesn't really bug us. Disk drive, we're not going to have that. Display out, yeah, we're going to have multiple of those. And MSRP comes in at $499. So this is our goal number. Our goal number is to beat $499. So we got to think about some things here. With a budget of $499, does it make sense to even get a GPU, a dedicated graphics card? I think not. We are going to hurt for performance, but remember, the goal isn't to spend whatever it costs to meet the PS5. It's to meet the PS5's cost and see what kind of performance we can get. I happen to know AMD has an integrated graphics card. It is the 3400G, and they don't have a price on here, but I also happen to know that it does come in at about $169.99, which I think you can find that on Micro Center right now for $169.99 if you live in Tustin. I don't know about the online shipping, but the Tustin location has that in stock. This comes with a Wraith Spire cooler. We're not going to worry about upgrading the cooler on that. I don't think it's going to get hot enough. Choosing a motherboard. We're going to go with a Micro ATX here. I like them better. I think that they fit better. We don't need something huge, right? This is a gaming only. We're not going to be editing or doing anything like that. So we don't need the extra slots for the RAM. We don't need any extra NVMe slots. So I'm going to go with a pretty basic Micro ATX. And it has to have Wi-Fi because the PS5 also obviously has Wi-Fi installed. We have 3 options, and the cheapest one is the MSI B450M Bazooka Max Wi-Fi, $93. All right, so we're already more than halfway there, and we have 2 parts. This is going to be fun. Memory kit. Okay, so the memory on here is 16 gigabytes GDDR6. I don't think we can get GDDR6 on here. Yeah, GDDR4 is all we can get. We get a 2x8 kit. And we'll make sure that it is at least 3600 speed because it needs to be fast. Sort this. G-Skill Ripjaws. 16 gigabytes DDR4, 3600, 2x8. I like that, coming in at only $67.98. Puts us at $330. We have $170 roughly left. This is where it's going to get interesting. So 825 gig PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD. There's only 667 storage that's actually usable. You can put games on and things. So first off, we're going to go M.2, and we need at least 667. Which I think is going to be hard because they don't really make SSDs that are in that range. Let's bump this down. We'll just round it out at an even 500. You can always add more. So the cool thing about the PC is that it's ever expandable. You can add more SSDs, more HDDs, whatever you want, external as well. So you kind of have an unlimited amount of storage that's at your disposal. So for Western Digital Blue SN550, 500 gigabyte SSD M.2, only $51. That's a pretty good deal. You know, I'm thinking about that now, and after you put your OS on it, you're not going to have a lot of room for games. Let's bump that up. Actually, let's Let's find a 1 terabyte for a decent price. I know that once you install the OS and everything, your operating system, you're gonna lose out on so much potential room. It just doesn't make sense to go with anything smaller than a terabyte. Okay, so the cheapest one I can find, Team MP33 1 terabyte SSD M.2 for $90. Never heard of this, but we're trying to get in the budget, so we have $80 left, and we still need a case and a power supply. PS5 is massive. I know if you've seen it, if you've heard about it, it's huge. It's gigantic. We're trying to replicate that. So we're gonna look for at least ATX, micro ATX mid, and an ATX mid that is white. Don't forget, we only have $80, so we're really kind of budget. We're budgeting ourselves right now. DIY PC, Jax 11, white ATX mid tower. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, pretty good reviews. Okay, you know what? Why not? Look at that. And that leaves us $45 for a power supply. That's terrifying to think about. We don't want these things to explode. Basically max out. Seasonic S12 80 plus bronze 500 watt non-modular for $42. Oh, look at this. Corsair CV ATX 80 plus bronze 650 watt for $40. Let's do that. And we come in $4 under budget. $495.91, and the PS5 disc version comes in at $499. This is a build price-wise comparable to the PlayStation. It's not going to perform anywhere near the PlayStation though. That's really the problem with going on a budget build like this, and how advanced the PlayStation has become is that you can't build a console killer for less than $750, $800, because you have to get a graphics card that can run any game at least 60 FPS, and even high-end games or mid-range games at high settings at 90 plus FPS, which the PS5 can do that. PS5 up to 8K and up to 120 FPS on most games. Now, depending on if you're playing Cyberpunk, you're gonna get way less at less than that. And another factor there is if you don't have a 4K, 8K TV, possibility is just kind of out the door. If you can't even, if your TV can't run the specs, it doesn't matter what the PS5 can do if you can't see it at that. The up to 8K and up to 120 FPS sounds nice until the TV is a limiting factor there. But the same goes with the PC too, because if your monitor is only 60 Hz, you're not going to run 144 Hz games. You're not going to be able to get higher FPS. You're going to notice the tearing of the screen. So you need the TV for the PlayStation. You need to be 4K, 8K, but you also need the monitor for the desktop for the PC. So guys, at $495.91, that's a great deal for this budget PC, right? Super budget. You can always upgrade the CPU later on and add a dedicated GPU that you bust the frames up in a good way. The problem with choosing this over the PS5 is this is just a PC. If you're starting from scratch either way, you still have to get your peripherals, you have to get your monitor, you have to get a keyboard, a mouse. If you're going to be trying to pro game, headset, and you have to buy an operating system, which there are plenty of deals out there. You can also, if you're a student, you can get Windows for free. You can also just have the watermark always on if that doesn't bother you. I know there's some videos out there on how to get them from like third-party websites where they're $20 if you want to risk going that way. But you're looking at another $100 or so just to get all the peripherals and to get the setup going before you can even start playing a game. So take that into account. Where when you get the PS5, you're paying the $499. It comes with at least one controller so you can play. I'm assuming you have a TV. It may not be HDR, may not be 4K. You may not have that best TV, but if you have a TV, you can play the PS5 on it at least. To answer the question that I started this video with, can you build a PC at the PS5 price that is comparable in performance to the PS5? The answer is no. That's a hard no. If you want to match or beat the PS5's performance, you will have to get a higher end CPU and then top it off with a high end GPU. And I'm talking like 2060 Super, 2070 Super, 2080 Super GPU, which right now you can get for $500-600, which is the cost of the PlayStation. So take that into consideration before you start building or buying your whatever you're gonna buy, or if you're gonna build. But at the end of the day, it also comes down to preference. If you prefer to play on PC, there's nothing wrong with this build. And at $500, it's gonna play most games that are out there right now. It's gonna be able to play Fortnite, League of Legends, you can play Minecraft, CS:GO, and maybe not at high-end settings, but at playable settings. And if you prefer console or you want the PlayStation exclusive games, well, there's no problem going that way either. And if you don't need the disc, if you don't need the disc drive, then getting the digital-only version for $399 is an absolute steal. Now, thank you so much. Let me know, PC, console, which side are you on? I've been console most of my life. I recently got into PC building and I absolutely love it. I'm fascinated by it. I want to keep building PCs. I want at some point to be able to do a giveaway or something like that where I can build somebody a PC who really deserves it. Maybe one day, enough luck and enough hard work, I can make that happen for you guys. So I would absolutely love to help somebody build their dream PC or surprise somebody with a brand new PC that I built for them. So guys, I really appreciate you sticking with me. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna see you in the next video, all right?